What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be throwing a new scope on my 6.5 Grendel, so let's jump into it. Now if you've been watching the channel for any amount of time, you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, I thought he had a scope on that. Well, the answer to that is I did. And if you watched the urban recce rifle build that I did, I had to do some scope swap. So this is that urban recce rifle build. If you guys want to watch either of these videos, I'll link them down below. But this scope used to be on this gun, and the mount that's holding this scope used to be on this gun. So I did some major swapping around with different optics to get the correct optic that I wanted for this recce rifle on it with the mount that I wanted. Now I've got to put the other stuff back together, and that's where we're at today. I got a new scope for the 6.5 Grendel AR-15 build. Like I mentioned, I will link that video down below. And like with all my videos, I do have a parts list. That'll be the first link in the description, or you can follow the QR code. That'll take you to my website, and I'll have all the details on the build on this gun, as well as these scopes that we're talking about. Ballistically challenged merchandise will be over there too if you want to go pick up a hat or a t-shirt, help support the channel. But let's take a look at this new scope I just got. First off, the scope that was on it was a 3-18 Vortex Strike Eagle. This is an awesome scope. I love these scopes. I thought this would be perfect for this recce rifle, and that's the reason that I swapped it onto here. But the scope that we're going to be replacing it with is this new Warhawk from Swampfox Optics. This is a 4-20 first focal plane 34mm scope, and we're going to be mounting it with one of their Freedom cantilever mounts and get this set up on the 6.5 Grendel. So let's jump over to the bench. We'll take a closer look at this stuff, go over a few details of it. Then I'm going to show you my method of how I mount a scope on an AR, and we're going to use my new Real Avid gun vise. So here's what we're working with. This is the Swampfox Warhawk precision rifle scope. We'll unbox this and I'll show you what this all comes with. It's got a large cleaning cloth. There's that scope. It's got a 34mm tube. This one is first focal plane. It's got the holdover grid reticle, high definition, ultra crisp glass, side focus. They say it's got highly accurate parallax adjustment, push-pull locking turrets that are low profile with a big diameter on them, so they're easy to grab, easy to adjust. It's got 12 reticle brightness settings, 2 night vision settings, and it's got off notches in between. So every other click, that reticle is going to turn off. Also comes with a sunshade, some flip caps, comes with one of these little honeycomb anti-glare lens covers, comes with some tools and things like that, sticker, and some literature, probably an instruction manual and stuff like that. Also ships with the battery. So that's everything that comes in the box with this Swampfox Warhawk. It's a pretty good looking scope. I'm really excited to try it out. I haven't tried out their rifle optics. I do have some pistol optics, but this is going to be my first rifle optic that I'm trying out. And then here's the mount. This is a Freedom mount. It's made out of 7075 T6 aluminum. It's kind of skeletonized, make it lightweight. That comes with a couple tools, sticker, and then here's what that mount looks like. Again, this is 34mm, obviously to match that scope. It sits forward 2.17 inches from the base, so that'll be nice on this AR platform. And then it's got Torx screws throughout to mount this thing. So I'm excited to get this new scope thrown on. Again, I was kind of surprised that it came with all the extra accessories, the flip caps, that honeycomb anti-glare device. Comes with quite a bit of stuff. So I'm going to get this gun set up on my Real Avid gun vise and get this thrown on. This is that Real Avid master vise that I was telling you guys about. I just got this thing a little while ago. It's got tons of options, but this is what we're going to be using to mount that scope today. It comes with these smart jaws. They're kind of foam padded on the one side, so these are the ones I'm going to be using. Before, I just used to use this vise block in a normal vise, and it was kind of a pain in the butt. I couldn't get it tight, so there was always a little bit of movement in that gun. I think it's going to be a lot better putting it directly in the vise. First up, I'm going to get this gun as level as possible. And to do that, I just use these little string line levels that are cheap. I find them on Amazon. I'll make sure and have links for those over at the build list. But I just try and get this thing as level as possible. And I can do that by just adjusting this vise. This kind of has a ball socket right here that you can move it any which way you want. So I'm just going to loosen this up and get that as level as possible. So I'm level front to back and side to side. And then this also has another adjustment that I can kind of fine tune the side to side once I get going. So I'm going to get all these ring caps off, get this set on the gun, and get the scope set in there, and kind of adjust for eye relief and see where I want it before I snug anything down. I'll set it on here and move it front to back wherever I need it to get the perfect eye relief, and then we'll snug this down. Again, nothing is locked in. I just got these screws started. This is just sitting on here, flopping wherever, but I want to make sure that my eye relief is good from where I typically hold the gun. So I'm going to get that set up, make sure I know exactly where my base needs to be, and then we'll get it locked down. So I think that spot's going to be good for that cantilever mount. And I'll be using my Wheeler fat wrench. This is an inch-pound wrench. I'll be using that to torque this down. So the base of this, they want that torqued down to 25 inch-pounds. When I'm torquing this down, you want to make sure you have downward pressure that's totally flat against the gun, and then give it pressure forward so it's locked into those Picatinny lugs. That will help keep this from coming loose under recoil. Now at this stage, it doesn't really matter if you're level or not. Now I'll double check eye relief again, make sure everything's good that way. Again, these caps are loose, so I can slide this forward and back and get it right where I want it. Now again, here's where the levels will come into play. We'll be using one on the gun itself, make sure it's level side to side, and then I'll use one right here on this top cap of the scope. What makes this vise cool is it has a little adjustment knob over here to where I can just adjust that barely one way or the other without having to adjust the whole vise. So I'm going to adjust it so this gun is perfectly level in here, and then again, these rings on the scope are loose, so I can just adjust it and match accordingly. Now that they're both perfectly level, the scope is level to that rifle, I'm just gonna slowly start to tighten these up, put a little bit of pressure on one side, crisscross kind of like a car tire, and just slowly snug these down so that the gaps are even on these rings as I tighten them down. Now that I've got them a little snug, again, I double check my eye relief, make sure everything's good, double check my levels, those are both good. And then I'll go through that same process again until these caps are snugged down, and then I will torque them to their final spec. And these, they're wanting torqued down to 10 inch-pounds. So again, we'll just use our Wheeler fat wrench, adjust that down where it needs to be, go in a star pattern, slowly tightening each one. Then I'll go back through and double check all the fasteners, make sure they're all torqued to spec. Again, double check our levels. They're both good. Eye relief still good. So that's that. You can also hang a plumb bob, double check it that way. Make sure the plumb bob lines up with your reticle. It's not a bad option, but this vise makes it really simple to micro adjust that side to side level when you're installing a scope. I'm gonna throw the rest of this stuff on, that honeycomb cap, the dust covers, throw the battery in, then we'll jump back up off the bench and I'll show you how this turned out. So here's how this turned out. I think that looks pretty good on there. Sits right where I want it. That scope is actually pretty light. It didn't add much to this gun compared to the other scope that I had on it. It is really nice that it comes with all those extras, the flip caps, so you don't have to buy those. Comes with that honeycomb kind of glare reduction piece in there. Did come with the battery. I forgot to mention, it comes with an adjustment lever, kind of a shark fin on there. You can put that wherever you want. And they send it with two different sizes. So this is a tall one, and they also have a shorter one if you want to throw that on there. Whichever one you prefer. I threw the longer one on there. Also, I forgot to mention this is waterproof, 100% submerged up to a meter. And you can reset these turrets. Once you get it zeroed in, you can pull them apart, reset it to 0. So your numbers all line up wherever you have it zeroed. Honestly, this is a pretty lightweight rifle. I think it's a little bit lighter than that recce rifle that I was showing you earlier. Picking that up, putting it away, felt heavier than this. Yeah, it's got a lot more stuff on it, but this is a really lightweight package. Now I'll have to get this one out to the range, get it sighted back in, kind of get used to the reticle in here. It does have that sharpshooter MOA reticle. I'll try and throw a picture up on the screen right now for you guys. Got half MOA ranging ladders, 24 MOA horizontal grid holdover, then a 36 MOA vertical grid holdover. Just like most scopes, it's a quarter MOA per click. So I'm excited to try this out and report back to you guys how I like this. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. fun, and the price on these things aren't that bad either. I will make sure I have all this stuff linked over at the build list, as well as all the tools that I used. Anything that you saw in this video, my whole original 6.5 Grendel build will have all that stuff over there. So make sure you guys go check that out. Pick you up a Ballistically Challenge t-shirt or hat, because no one can have too many hats. And while you're over there, make sure you look around a little. I do have some pages with tools that I like to use in my gun room, or certain codes that you can save yourself some money with. But as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll check you guys on the next one.